Hi there, this is Form 1099 NEC, non-employee compensation. This is a brand new form for 2020. In previous years for non-employee compensation, you might remember that we used 1099 MISC, but the IRS has changed the rules this year, so they've got a brand new form for this, which is this one, NEC. But it works pretty much the same as in prior years with the MISC form. So this is the form that you would use if you paid someone who was a contractor. In other words, someone who wasn't your employee. If you paid them $600 or more, this is the form you would use. And these are the boxes that you fill out. You put your name, you're the payer, so you put your name and address in this box here. And then you put your ID number, which might be your social security number, or if you're a business, it would be your business ID number would go in here. And then the recipient's ID number goes in this box right here. Now, let me give you a tip. It's pretty important to get that recipient number before you pay your recipient any money, because after you pay them the money, they don't have any incentive to give you their number, and so you want to do that before. And in order to do that, this is the form that you would use: request for taxpayer identification number. So you give this to them before you pay them, and they fill this out with their name and business name if it's different than their regular name, and then they need to check one of these boxes to identify what kind of business they are, either individual or a corporation, or they might be a limited liability company. And then their address goes down here. Now the important information is their ID number, which is what you want. Could be a social security number, or it could be a business ID number, one of those. So again, give that to your recipient before you pay them anything. Now that number goes here that you got on that form, that W-9 form. And by the way, you can get the W-9 at irs.gov, and you can also get this form at irs.gov. You need to order that, or you could also get it at most office supply stores, but if not, order it online at irs.gov. So the number again goes here, and then the name, recipient address, and recipient state and city and zip code go in here. And then the non-employee compensation goes in box 1 right here. And then if you have withholding, which you normally wouldn't, but if for some reason you do, that would go here. And most of these other boxes will be blank. You probably don't have any state withholding, so leave those blank. And you can put an account number in here if you want to. It's optional. The other thing I might mention is that a lot of people think that if they have one recipient, they need to fill this out twice for one recipient, but that's not the case. And in fact, if you do that, it'll cause problems for your recipient, because the IRS will think that you're doubling up on what you paid them, and they'll expect to see that on their tax return, which will cause them a problem. So as you can see, this form has several pages to it. Let me turn here to the next page. This is the state copy. So we send this to the state, although not every state wants this. And let me show you this information here, which is from publication, IRS publication 1220. These are the states that do want that copy, that state copy. There's quite a number of them, but then there's quite a number that don't. For example, you don't see New York in the list here, but you see California and all these other states. These are the states that want the form. So send this copy to those states if they want it. And then over here is the recipient copy, copy B for the recipient. So you're going to send it to your recipient, which is this person here, and that's their address. That's where you would send that. Now, if I flip this over on the back side, it shows me the due dates. For copy B, it's February 1st, 2021. And the same for copy A. Copy A goes to the IRS by the same date. Normally that is January 31st, but since January 31st falls on a Sunday in 2021, the due date is the next day, February 1st. Now, when you send these forms to the IRS, you use this form here. This is essentially a cover letter. The 1096, Form 1096, it goes with the all of the 1099 forms that you send. So you fill out your filer name, which is the same as the payer name. You're the payer, so you put your name here and your address and your contact information, telephone number, email address. If you have a fax number, put that in there. Now right here, the employer, if you have an employer ID number, put that here. Or if you have a social security number, put that here. So fill out one of these boxes, but not both of them, depending on what you have. And over here, the IRS wants to know the total number of forms that you're sending. So if you're sending just one, put one. If you're sending 5, put 5. And then you're going to include all those forms with this cover letter. Over here, they want the total withheld on all of the forms. Normally this will be blank, but if you have some withholding, you would add up the withholding from all the forms and put that total here. And then over here, you total up all the non-employee compensation that you're paying. So you're going to add that up from all the forms and put it in here. Now down here, you need to check this box, box 71, for the 1099 NEC. You just put a check mark here, and then where to file is given down here. If you live in one of these states, you would go to this address, or if you live in one of these states, you would go to this Kansas City address, and if you live in one of these states, you go to this Utah address. So include that 1096. I might mention also that if you electronically file, which is possible, you don't need a 1096. You just send the information from the 1099 NEC. I've actually got another video for electronic filing. If you're interested in that, you can subscribe and find that video. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below, and I'll try to answer them if I can. Thank you for listening.